Howdy, y'all. I'm Justin.
And I'm Kim.
Welcome to Cowboys Like Us, the podcast where we talk about Taylor Swift and her music. Yeehaw. Hello, and welcome back to Cowboys Like Us, the only podcast lobbying to replace the Statue of Liberty with a statue of Danny DeVito.
Hell yeah.
I stand by that.
I'm good with that.
Yep. Today, we are talking about Snow on the Beach from Midnights, Taylor's most recent album of all original material for the next 13 days.
As of this recording.
As of with this recording. Yep. Even less by the time you're listening.
Yep.
Snow on the Beach is, of course, a collab with Lana Del Rey, and we were hoping to have friend of the pod and Lana Stan Christie join us for this episode, but unfortunately, she's unavailable. She has to do something with her kid or whatever.
She has to be a parent.
It's a bunch of bullshit. But the show must go on, as they say, and so here it is. Poll results. We got some. Now that we don't talk, the people voted, and y'all gave it an 8 out of 10. I believe that's what I gave it, I think.
Yeah.
Love to see
Pretty
it.
on par.
Do we have other pod business to discuss?
Oh, I don't think so. Don't forget, we're on Patreon.
That's right. I
Get in there.
will go ahead and just say, we got some big things coming. So just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Got some big episodes coming up.
Yeah.
We'll reveal one at the end of this episode. But
Yeah. It's big.
Mhm. That's what she said. Let's move on to the news. News from around the Taylorverse. First up, the iHeartRadio Music Awards. They happened yet again.
Mm-hmm. Every year.
Yep, like clockwork. Taylor was nominated for 9 awards. We talked about that when the nominations came out. And she won 3 of them. She won Artist of the Year, Pop Artist of the Year, and Best Lyrics for Is It Over Now. Taylor did not attend the ceremony, but she did send a pre-recorded message that played on the big screen and said, "Hey, I want to say thank you so much to anyone who voted for this award. iHeartRadio has been incredibly supportive over the course of my entire career, but especially this year has been pretty spectacular. I am so grateful for that. To the fans, it is completely up to you to choose how you spend your time, what concerts you want to go to, what music you want to make the soundtrack of your life, and to anyone who has included me in those choices, I am so thankful for that. We have so many exciting things ahead of us. I'm continuing on with the tour, and most importantly, I have a brand new album called The Tortured Poets Department, which comes out on April 19th, and I cannot wait to share it with you. I am so blown away and so thankful, and I just can't wait to keep having fun with you guys, because we have a lot of exciting things coming up. Thank you so much."
Yep.
Yep, a lot of exciting things coming up.
She's the artist of every year and the pop artist of every year, so those are deserved awards.
Yep.
And best lyrics for Is It Over Now? I mean, I don't think there's any disputing that.
She won the Cowboys Like Us award for Artist of the Year at the CBLU Awards.
Yeah, she won every award.
Clean sweep.
That was offered at the CBLU Awards.
Yep. Not only did she not attend, she didn't even record a statement for us, so that's messed up.
It's so messed up.
You hate to see it. But one thing you love to see is Tavis being in love.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor and Travis were spotted out and about in Nashville this past week with Taylor's parents.
That's so close to us.
They went to Soho House, a fancy members-only club. A witness described the scene, quote, "They were absolutely adorable and lovey-dovey," end quote. Travis then did an interview with Entertainment Tonight where he said a few interesting things. He said about Taylor's eclectic music taste, quote, "It's definitely been fun to experience her taste in music for sure. She's so amazing at what she does, and to find that creativity, to see where she likes to pull things from, and just really how she listens to music is very eye-opening for me. It's been fun to hear her take on it." And then on Taylor as a performer, he said, "Man, I'll tell you what, the London shows, I think she's at Wembley 8 times, which is mind-blowing. That she can do that many shows in one stadium and fill that thing up. I played at Wembley once, and I don't even think we filled that thing up. She'll be all over Europe. There won't be a bad show, I promise you that." He's correct, by the way. They did not fill Wembley. They were close. I think it was like 82,000 in a 89,000 seat stadium, something like that. Close, but not quite. On his attending Eras Tour shows, he said, "Oh, you know I gotta go support. You know it. We're both very career-driven, both love what we do, and any chance that I can show my support to her, and knowing that she's showing me all the support in the world throughout the season, it's just been an amazing experience getting to know Tay."
I love them. They're the best. They're so cute.
Indeed. Kylie Kelsey also had an interview this week in which she had a couple of things to say. She was on the Today Show, and she said, quote, "Ultimately, if Travis is happy, we're happy. We are always cheering on Uncle Trav. It's such a treat to be able to do that on and off the field, but it's been amazing."
I feel like too many people have twisted her words over the past however many months it's been since they've been together, that she's just trying to keep it as short and sweet as possible.
It's true. People have been trying to instigate a fight between Taylor and Kylie, and I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
The media are messy bitches who live for drama. That's what it is. But Travis, he's a good dude who just wants to have fun. And to that end, he is throwing his second annual Kelsey Jam in Kansas City on May 18th, presented by Jim Beam. Jim Beam, for when the good bourbon is too expensive. It's not their real slogan, guys. Just so you know.
Don't sue us, Jim Beam.
Don't sue us, yep. Tickets are on sale right now as we record this podcast, so go get them if you want them. They began selling today as we record, April 5th. So by the time you listen to this, it might be too late. Lil Wayne, Diplo, 2 Chainz, and more will be performing. So.
Oh my god, he got Lil Wayne?
He got
Weezy?
Yep, he got Weezy. So, you know it's gonna bang.
And he got 2 chains, not just 1 chain?
Got both of them.
Got both of them.
Also, Forbes magazine. You've heard of it. It's a fancy business publication. Yep. And we had talked about previously on this podcast that people thought Taylor had officially reached billionaire status. They were projecting it. It was not official, but it is now. Forbes magazine has come out and added her to their billionaires list officially. And they said that Taylor is the first person to reach billionaire status solely from recording music and touring and playing concerts. So,
she knows what she's doing, that's for sure.
Yep. Making that sweet, sweet coin. But you know who hates people making money, according to the to the tabloids, but maybe not truthfully, is Billie Eilish. Last week, in an interview, Billie complained about vinyl variants. She acknowledged that it's something that everyone, including Billie herself, do. It is standard industry practice. Labels push for it to try and boost sales numbers, get up on the charts higher. We all know how the sausage gets made. Billie, however, has her vinyl and her packaging made from recycled materials to try and decrease the impact on the environment. And that is something she emphasized. I did not mention this on our last episode because it seemed like, to me, that it did not pertain to this podcast. And yet, some of the more volatile Swifties out there immediately decided Billie's coming for Taylor and we must then declare war on her. And so they did.
Oh.
Billie had enough of it this week and clarified it was not her intention to single anyone out. She said, quote, "These are industry-wide systemic issues when it comes to variants, so many artists release them, including me, which I clearly state in the article. The climate crisis is now, and it's about all of us being part of the problem and trying to do better. Sheesh.
So, I didn't actually read the article when it first came out, like what she said originally. I just saw everybody being like, she's coming after Taylor, and like I saw quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, when you say, you know, artists put out a whole bunch of variants, the first person I think of is Taylor, but that doesn't mean that other people don't also do it.
Right.
She's just who I think of first all the time. But when I saw Billy's response, the climate change thing made no sense because I didn't read her initial thing of like, I make mine out of recycled things because I'm trying to help the planet and all of these variants are causing global warming or whatever, you know.
Yep.
So when I heard her response to clarify and she just kind of went off on a climate change tangent at the end, I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, no. That was kind of the whole thing, really. And they cut that part out to make it look like...
It was attacking artists, specifically Taylor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the media are messy bitches who live for drama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was really like, what an interesting clarification for you to be like, I wasn't saying anybody in particular. I do this too. Climate change. And I was like, okay, go off.
Yep. And finally, the Tortured Poets Department. We are inside of 2 weeks until the release date.
Some might say a fortnight.
Some might say a fortnight. Some people thought that the song Fortnight featuring Post Malone might have been released as the first single today, April 5th, a fortnight, 2 weeks from the album's release. But it didn't happen. And the clowns were revealed to be clowning again, as they often are.
I mean, it was right there.
It would have made sense.
Why didn't she take it? I'm so confused.
Would have made a lot of sense. The whole album rollout has been weird,
Yeah.
I've thought. Really quiet and just, I don't know, not teasing it as hard as she has done.
Not teasing it. She brings it up every chance she gets. She reminds you that it's coming. But, like, we haven't gotten a single. We really haven't gotten a whole lot of anything.
Hadn't got shit.
Except for a whole bunch of variants.
And a whole bunch of playlists today.
Oh, yeah. As of today, we got 5 playlists for all the stages of grief.
That's right. And people have a lot of opinions on it. But I don't. And here's why. There's not a single piece of new music on any of those playlists.
Yeah, they're all playlists. They've kind of taken Taylor's discography and sorted it into the various stages of grief.
Yep,
into those
moods.
playlists. Yeah.
So, miss me with that, Taylor. Put the single out, you coward.
Yeah. That was a little bit more Taylor Nation than Taylor herself, I feel like.
True. Taylor did announce some release parties across the country for fans. The first one is in New York City on the 18th, so they will be the first to hear it a day early. The lucky, lucky bastards.
Yeah.
Probably not a full day, probably like a few hours, but still.
Yeah.
I assume it'll be that evening.
And it'll come out at midnight Eastern time, so we'll get it an hour early anyway, right? Isn't that right?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. Because we on that Central Standard.
Yep. People in the Pacific time, I guess they get it like 9. Must be nice.
I think that's how time works.
I think so. I think so.
Maybe 10, but I don't know.
Well.
Oh, no, it would be, yeah, you're right. It's 9.
I so often am, right?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Do you have any other news you want to talk about?
No. I was going to mention the playlist, but you brought them up, so we're good.
So we're good. Let's move on then to Chart Watch. Chart Watch. On the Billboard Artist 100, Taylor stayed put at number 1. On the Hot 100 Singles Chart, Cruel Summer dropped 6 spots to number 16. And Is It Over Now dropped 16 spots to number 47. On the Billboard Top 200 Albums Chart, Lover stayed at 7. 1989 TV stayed at 9. Midnights is down 1 to number 14. Folklore is down 1 to number 18. Rep is down 3 to number 25. Red TV down 3 to 34. Speak Now TV down 5 to number 38. Evermore down 3 to number 39. Fearless TV down 5 to number 71. And 1989 Stolen down 7 to number 92.
So close.
Yep. Pushing it almost out of the top 100. We can do it, guys. We can do it.
Just to clarify real quick, Cruel Summer was released as a single at the beginning of the last summer, right?
I believe that's correct.
As like a summer anthem thing.
I believe so.
And it's still charted. And it's almost summer again. So it's almost been charting for a year.
Yep. And it may take a bump in the summer because seasonal reasons. So.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yep. The whole charts are going to reset when TTPD comes out. You already know.
True.
So we'll see what that does to everything. But now it's time to journey again to Kimberly's Clown Corner for a Swiftery lesson. Kimberly's Clown Corner.
I definitely thought you were going to say some dumb shit like secret special place or something again.
I was gonna, but then I didn't. Keep you on your toes.
Alright. Just a quick little Swiftery lesson talking about Taylor and Lana Del Rey.
Now, who is this person? This other person? Taylor, I'm familiar with. This Del Rey person, I was under the impression she worked at a Waffle House.
You know, I was under that impression too. A Waffle House in our home state of Alabama.
Yep.
But no, apparently she is an artiste.
Who knew?
A musical artiste.
Mm.
I can't tell you much more than that because I'm not a huge fan of Lana.
I'm gonna get into it a little bit when we get to the song.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I do know she makes music.
Yeah.
So, Taylor and Lana first met on November 11th, Veterans Day in America, 2012, at the MTV Europe Music Awards in Germany. Taylor won Best Female Artist, and Lana presented the award to her.
Nice.
The next time we know about them being in the same space is in 2016, when they both attended Lady Gaga's 30th birthday party.
Very cool.
In 2022, Jack Antonoff produced both Taylor and Lana's albums simultaneously.
Midnights and did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard?
Yeah. Jack was quoted discussing this at the time, saying, "I've had a few relationships, really Lana and Taylor, where we've worked for a long period of time and found this space where it's like, it gets loonier and more exciting."
Okay.
This is the time where they worked on the original version of Snow on the Beach.
Heard of it.
Lana sang background vocals and helped produce. Ultimately, after its release, Swifties and Lana fans demanded more Lana.
Yep.
Taylor did Lana dirty.
Why did Lana not get her own verse?
Yep. So back to the studio they went. And we got the second version of the song, Snow on the Beach, the more Lana version. February 3rd, 2024, Taylor and Lana attend the Grammys together. They wore coordinating white and black outfits, and Lana looked like the girl from Beetlejuice. Now, I would like to interject here and say that the Swiftery lesson comes from the Pod Gremlin Madeline. I am just a vessel of information today. A vessel for information. A vehicle for information. That's what I mean. I was gonna look up the name of the girl from Beetlejuice. Now I can't remember it.
The character's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I've only seen that movie once when I was in high school.
Well, anyway, yeah. So the Pod Gremlin means Winona Ryder's character from Beetlejuice. And any other day I'd be able to pull her name out of my head, but I can't today. Okay, so Lana looks like the girl from Beetlejuice, aka Winona Ryder.
Right.
Taylor announced the Tortured Poets Department.
Yep.
Some might say it was a big deal.
Some might. Some might.
That evening, when Midnights won Album of the Year, Taylor brought Lana up onto stage and shouted her out during her acceptance speech.
Yep. It's worth noting, I think, that Lana had been nominated for several awards that night, including Album of the Year for Did You Know That There's a Tunnel, and was shut out on the evening.
Yes.
So a lot of people, a lot of Lana stans at least, felt it was a pity gesture, and they were offended.
Yeah, well, when that happens to someone you also sort of brought as your date, yeah, I don't know. A little awkward. But anyway,
Just
February,
I should say it.
February 11th, so about, what is that, 8 days later?
Mm-hmm.
Taylor and Lana.
Lana.
Taylor and Lana both attended the Super Bowl, supporting opposing teams.
Oh, God.
Lana was seen talking to Taylor from outside of the Taylor-Kelsey private suite. Within minutes, Taylor had Lana in the box surrounded by Chiefs fans. It was really sweet, which it was, but it was kind of funny to see the early pictures of them talking through the window. Like, Taylor was like, oh yeah, no, we're friends, but you can't come in here.
It's funny, too, there was a clip at the end of the game where the Chiefs won in overtime in dramatic fashion, as we all recall, and they showed the box's celebration. Lana is near Taylor, kind of like behind her, to the side, slightly, diagonal, and the Chiefs fans, which is everyone but her in there, immediately erupt, and they're jumping around, and she just gets buried in the pile, kind of. Just disappears underneath a pile of red, and it's humorous.
Yeah. All right, well, that's that. Taylor and Lana's friendship, is not very heavily documented, but that's what we know about them, and it seems like Jack is at the root of it all.
Yes, they seem to be admirers of one another as artists. Thank you, Kimberly. And now it's time to get into our song of the week. Snow on the Beach was originally released on Midnights in October 2022. Not quite 2 years ago yet, but it's coming up on it. The world was so much younger. And then the more Lana version was released in May 2023. The song was written by Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, and Jack Antonoff. Lana Del Rey is a singer-songwriter. She's put out 9 studio albums to date, beginning in 2010. Her 10th album, Lasso, which is her official country album.
She did a country album?
She's gonna put it out later this year.
Yep. Oh, she's pulling a Beyonce, okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know how that's gonna compete, but okay.
Yeah, it'll be a different thing.
Yeah.
Lana kind of hovers around that space anyway. Sort of folky, and yeah.
So you'd think I'd like her music.
You would think. She's known for her vintage old Hollywood aesthetic. She's been nominated for 11 Grammy Awards, and she has 0 wins to date.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is. Just can't quite get there.
Yeah.
In 2023, Rolling Stone chose Lana as one of the 200 greatest singers of all time at number 175. If anyone's interested, Aretha Franklin was number 1. And, if anyone wonders, friend of the pod, Big Boy Rob Sheffield, was one of the contributors for the list. It was a group project among the Rolling Stone staff.
Hey.
Yep. And the song was produced by Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. Lana didn't get an official producer credit, but
yeah,
she was in the room. She was involved.
She got a writing credit though, so I guess it's kind of all the same thing.
I suppose so. Chart info, the song peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100 when Midnights came out. It was certified platinum in Australia and Canada, and gold in Mexico, New Zealand, Portugal, and the United Kingdom.
Portugal.
What has Taylor said about this song?
Snow on the Beach featuring Lana Del Rey is track 4 on Midnights, and I cannot get through that sentence without grinning because I'm such a massive fan of Lana Del Rey. More on that later. This song is about falling in love with someone at the same time as they're falling in love with you. In this cataclysmic, I hate Taylor, faded moment where you realize someone feels exactly the same way that you feel at the same moment, and you're kind of looking around going, wait, is this real? Is this a dream? Is this for real? Is it happening? Kind of like it would be if you were to see snow falling on a beach. And Lana Del Rey is, in my opinion, one of the best musical artists ever. The fact that I get to exist at the same time as her is an honor and a privilege. And the fact that she would be so generous as to collaborate with us on this song is something I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be grateful for life.
Should have been another 4 in there.
For life, yes. Okay, I am really messing this up today.
It wasn't you, it's Taylor. Taylor should have put another 4 in there. She didn't.
I absolutely love her, and I really hope you love this song as much as I do. Yeah, Taylor needs to get her shit together. I can't keep up.
We've talked about it. Taylor doesn't think before Taylor talks, and it's annoying.
This was specifically, I believe, from her Midnight's Mayhem series on the social media, where she broke down each track of the album.
So she had plenty of time to edit this.
Yeah. Which makes it worse.
Yep. All right. Well, I don't know that Lana would be similarly pleased that she exists at the same time as Taylor, because that means Taylor's going to steal all of her awards she might otherwise win.
I don't know, but I don't feel like she's that, malicious of a person.
Yeah, I don't
Seems like she's probably like, I'm just here for the fun of it.
What about the critical reception? Do the critics enjoy Snow on the Beach?
USA Today said the wintry feel of the song evokes the Dream Academy's life in a northern town with its balance of aching beauty and inherent melancholy.
I don't know if that's a good comparison, because I don't know who the Dream Academy is, and I've never heard life in a northern town. But I'm going to take your word for it. USA Today.
Yeah, sure.
Riff Magazine called it an ethereal, mid-tempo ballad which feels like winter with synths, jingles, and light orchestration.
I feel like all these people just heard snow and they were like, winter time!
Yep.
Slant called it an exquisite combination of plucky strings, chimes, and heavily reverberated bass that beautifully evokes an early winter's morning's first snowfall.
Rolling Stone called it a gorgeous ballad.
Under the Radar called it a beautiful love song.
Gigwise said that it features heavenly harmonies and emotions in their deepest, rawest form.
LA Times called it a gorgeous duet with some of the album's most affecting imagery. That is generous to call this a duet for the original.
It is. The Daily Telegraph called it sonically adventurous.
The Associated Press said poetic, pretty, and at times cheeky, but not as emotionally deep as the lyricist's combined power suggests it could be.
Pop Matters said that it leaves the listener wondering what could have been had the full vocal stylings of the two interacted more completely.
The New York Times said, begins with light Christmas music energy and never really ascends. Del Rey excels at a kind of rumbling, oozy stasis. It's like the ecstasy of being caught in a spider's web. But Swift's vocals are a mite too cheery to achieve the same effect.
Business Insider called it mid-background music.
And AV Club called it a glaring misfit that moves at a crawling pace.
There's always a couple of haters.
Yeah.
Always a couple of haters.
I was going to say two things. One, I need to start wearing my glasses because I can't read. And two, there were a lot of critics who had opinions on this song, all of which I feel like saw snow in the title and went, song about winter. I don't even know that they listened to it.
Yeah, it feels pretty lazy. All right. What about the fans? Do the fans like it?
Rob Sheffield,
Big Boy Rob,
ranked this song number 30 out of 243.
Pretty high.
Really high. He said, weird but fucking beautiful indeed. Snow on the Beach is a duet with Lana Del Rey, although it sounds all the way Swiftian, vocally, lyrically, and especially melodically. The most beguiling tune on Midnights, with pizzicato strings and lines about falling for a lover bright enough to burn out your periphery. That melody is damn near impossible to dislodge from the skull, especially that soft, it's coming down at the end.
Yep. R/Taylor Swift had a very different take, and they ranked it number 15 out of 20 tracks on the Midnight's 3 a.m. edition.
Yep.
So they weren't really vibing with it. No accounting for taste. Let's get into some lyrical analysis. Verse number 1. One night a few moons ago, I saw flecks of what could have been lights, but it might just have been you passing by unbeknownst to me. Life is emotionally abusive, and time can't stop me quite like you did. And my flight was awful. Thanks for asking. I'm unglued thanks to you. So, seemingly Taylor reckons time by the moon, which is fun and old-timey, but it makes sense because she's definitely the type of person who sits outside and looks at the moon and thinks her melancholy midnight thoughts.
I too like to sit outside and look at the moon. Sometimes I like to do it while standing on a stump.
Yep.
That's true.
Because you're the Lorax and you speak for the trees.
Yep.
And I just want to say, can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars?
I could really use a wish right now. Wish right now. Wish right now.
Yep. That's what it makes me think of. The 2010s were a weird time.
Yeah.
Early 2010s, I guess.
Late aughts.
Somewhere in there.
Early 10s, yeah.
Who can say? Life is emotionally abusive is the realest shit that anybody ever wrote.
Yeah.
And she's wild for that one because, yeah, you're born and everything seems cool, and then bad things just keep happening to you.
I was going to say, at some point you realize everything is not as cool as you think it is.
Yep. No one knows anything, and we're all just on this crazy ride together, and it ends bad. Everyone knows that going in.
Yeah. The worst part is when you get old enough to realize that your parents don't actually have the answers to everything.
Yep.
They actually don't know shit. And they're also just flying by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, it's a terrifying moment for you when you realize that.
Yeah.
Taylor was living her life, but then she met someone, and it felt like everything stopped. And, you know, we've all been there. That moment of, maybe this is a big deal, and things are going to be different. If private jet flights are awful, then what hope do any of the rest of us have, I ask you? On my most recent trip to the sky, I was stranded at Ronald Reagan Airport in D.C. for about 8 hours. I was on the plane, we taxied to the runway, and then we taxied back to the holding area, and we waited. Then we taxied to the runway, and then we waited. And then we taxied back to the holding area, and then we waited. And then we taxied back to the gate, and then we waited. And they finally deplaned us. And then, like 30 minutes later, they called us back onto the plane. And finally, mercifully, we took off. Air travel is a hellish nightmare. Don't do it if you can help it. Once you're actually in the sky, smooth sailing, you know? But everything else sucks ass.
We have been doing it for so long, it shouldn't be this bad anymore.
Yep, it shouldn't. It should not. I tell you what, I have never been so happy to be in Alabama as when I got off that plane and was on the ground. I was like, oh, thank God. I thought I was never going to get here. Whew. It was a wild, wild ride. On to the chorus. And it's like snow at the beach. Weird, but fucking beautiful. Flying in a dream. Stars by the pocketful. You wanting me tonight feels impossible, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around. I have not seen snow at the beach. I'm from the beach, but I'm from the Alabama Gulf Coast, and it don't snow there.
It rarely snows in Alabama. When it does, it's not real snow.
And when it does, it's not
at the beach.
At the beach.
Sure as hell ain't at the beach.
Nope. It does sound weird, but fucking beautiful to me. I'd like to see it. Sounds cool. I have never flown in a dream either. That I can recall, at least. I've fallen in dreams, and that's frightening, because your boy's afraid of heights. And I suffered night terrors and sleep paralysis from an early age, so I've had all kinds of horrible nightmares. Good dreams, what are they like? I couldn't tell you. Stars by the pocketful is a very satisfying phrase to me. I like it a lot. It sounds, it just hits real good. I like it.
Yeah, it's the nighttime version of I got a pocket full of sunshine.
Yeah, she's got a pocket full of stars, you know?
Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Pocket full of...
I got a pocket full of stars.
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 And, you know, someone is attracted to billionaire pop star Taylor Swift, it seems impossible. Who could imagine it? But, in all seriousness, Taylor has a warped view of herself, as so many of us do, man. We can't see our own value. I was talking to a friend of the pod, Mary, the other day, because she was going to go on a date with a gentleman, and I told her, I said, you are the prize. You know, that's the attitude you gotta have. He's the one who might be lucky enough to win the prize that is you. That's how we need to think about it, but we don't always. Because we're just like sad and desperate, and we want to be loved so much, and it can get us in trouble.
Yeah.
Being alone is not a bad thing. If you're gonna be with someone, they need to add positive value to your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Verse number 2. This scene feels like what I once saw on a screen. I searched Aurora Borealis green. I've never seen someone lit from within, blurring out my periphery. My smile is like I won a contest, and to hide that would be so dishonest. And it's fine to fake it till you make it, till you do, till it's true. Taylor saw a movie that this magical night of romance is reminding her of. We know that Taylor is a fan of romance.
We talked about it last week.
Films, not always in a healthy way, but she is a fan of it. Aurora Borealis, also known as Northern Lights, is a multicolored, naturally occurring light display that you can see at night up in the Arctic Circle. Green is the most common color, but they can also be purple, pink, red, and blue. Imagine being the first guy to see that shit. You look up and there's just multicolored lights up there.
He was probably like, what the fuck did I eat?
Yep. The polar bear meat. You just ain't hit right.
Those mushrooms weren't the ones I thought they were.
The person Taylor's falling in love with, they've got an inner glow, man. And it makes it hard to see anything except for them. Draws the eye, right? Metaphorically, of course. They draw Taylor's eye. Don't let go. Taylor's a world champion fake smiler. She has to be, because she got famous at a very young age, and because she's a woman.
Yeah, mainly that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but women are expected to always be appealing and in a good mood, because if not, men get pissy. So Taylor has to smile all the time because she's constantly in the public eye, and she's learned how to do it and do it well. But now she actually has something to be genuinely happy about and smile, and that's a nice thing. Do want to add one other thing. Fake it till you make it.
It's my life motto.
Yeah, on its own, perfectly fine. But my ex, who stole my muffin tin.
Muffin tin, yep, Little Miss Muffin Tin.
She said that shit all the time.
Oh no!
Fake it till you make it. That was her fucking catchphrase. And I hated it. Hated it.
I don't think you've ever told me that.
I don't think I have. This is live radio here coming out. And so every time I read it, hear it, see it, I get a little twitchy behind my eye. I'm just like,
That is so unfortunate. There's only like a handful of common denominators that have, like, we've talked about that she and I have.
yeah, not many.
Over the years. But that's unfortunate because that is one of my favorite phrases.
Yeah, she also was a Mean Girls fan, a huge Mean Girls fan. That was her favorite film. And Mean Girls is a good movie. I like it. But, again, it's tough for me.
Yeah.
Because I get PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it's not like one of my absolute favorites. And I quote it sometimes, but not enough.
It is very quotable.
Yeah.
Onto the bridge. I can't speak, afraid to jinx it. I don't even dare to wish it. But your eyes are flying saucers from another planet. Now I'm all for you like Janet. Can this be a real thing? Can it? The love Taylor feels is so fresh, so new, so fragile, perhaps, that it feels almost like an illusion, a very, very breakable thing. She's afraid that if she says or does the wrong thing, it'll shatter. Spoiler alert for you kids. If it's real, you won't break it. And if you break it, then it wasn't real. I feel good about that. I invented that, I think.
Yeah, probably. I've never heard those words strung together in that sentence.
Can't imagine anyone else would have said something that dumb.
That's not what I meant.
That's how it sounded. Kimberly, long ago on this podcast,
Yeah.
so far that some listeners may have forgotten, you said that every time you listen to a song for the first time,
okay.
You imagine.
Time out.
Literal.
Going back. Okay, the reason why you felt good about what you said and my response wasn't what you wanted it to be was because my ass read ahead in the notes, right?
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell is this next note about? Because it says in our notes, ask Kimberly about the saucer eyes. And I'm reading the lyrics going, okay, wait, your eyes are flying saucers from another planet. Okay. What does that have to do with me? Why is he asking me anything about that line? And so then you said, spoiler alert, kids, and you said your thing, and then you were waiting for a response, and I was just like, I have not been listening to him.
Yeah, no, it's good. I should have put a hard break there because it's a hard pivot. You said, I think it was in the Gold Rush episode.
Yes, it was.
That you interpret everything literally at first. The first time you hear a song, you imagine it literally as spoken.
Yeah.
So, tell us about this. Did you really imagine him having flying saucers for eyes?
Well, so another thing that's a fun thing about me is it not really super uncommon, but as you know, there's a good majority of the population that is unable to like picture things in their head.
I have heard that.
So I like to listen to songs, and although I listen to them very literally the first time I hear them, as we discussed, I also like to like picture a story, like build the storyline as if it was a movie in my head as the song goes.
Sure.
So, you know, I could 100% see a sort of sci-fi style shot of a man with flying saucers for eyes. However, I do think I heard the metaphor here a little clearly. You know, I think my brain deciphered this one pretty well.
That's good. That's good. It would be weird. It would be weird to imagine a man with saucer eyes. And then Janet Jackson put out a single in 2001 called All For You. So that's a little nod to her.
I also think that I don't dwell on the flying saucers from another planet thing because she says, now I'm all for you like Janet. And yes, I do know that it's a Janet Jackson reference. But every time I hear that line, my brain immediately diverts and stops listening to this song and starts singing Damn It, Janet from Rocky Horror Picture Show. And then that's stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
Well, there you go. I think Christy had that same reaction initially, and she could have told us that if she was here, but I'm pretty sure she said something about that.
Yeah.
When this song came out.
Oh, I cannot hear the name Janet without thinking of Rocky Horror.
It's time to get into our overall thoughts about this song. Kimberly, do you want to go first?
I sure can.
You don't have anything down. You're gonna have to talk extemporaneously.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorites. And, you know, at a little behind the scenes, at the start of this episode, I decided to up my rating a little bit because I thought that it was too low.
Right.
But after going through the lyrics, I take it back.
Oh, spicy.
I take it back.
Okay.
This song is just not my favorite. It's in no way, shape, or form a bad song. And I know that. And I take it back because I feel like this one falls into a similar category with Exile and Evermore for me, which I can respect that they're not bad songs. They're just not my vibe.
I see.
This song's just not my vibe. Lana, for some reason, like you said, she does like folky sounding songs, and I love some folk music. So I really don't know why she's not my vibe. I can't really pinpoint it. one day I hope to figure it out. Maybe I can overcome that hurdle. But she's just not really my vibe. She's not really my favorite. And because of that, this song is sometimes a skip for me. It just doesn't hit home, but I can respect that it's a good song and that people like it.
Okay, fair enough. For me, I think first off, it's worth mentioning that I am, I guess you could say, a casual Lana Del Rey fan. She's put out 9 records, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm a big fan of 3 of them. Norman fucking Rockwell, Chemtrails Over the Country Club, and her most recent, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard. I did not appreciate her early material very much, but I've come around more recently. So I was excited initially for the collab when it was announced. I think the main thing Lana brought to this track is her vibe. This feels a lot like a song she'd put out.
Yeah.
Someone in the critical reception called it ethereal, and I do think that's what it sounds like. I think her backing vocals sound very cool and make the song sound very ethereal, which is a good descriptor for a lot of her music. It's atmospheric. When you listen to it, it just kind of feels like you're in it, man. It's around you, you know. I really like this song personally. I am personally a beach boy by birth.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen snow on it, but it sounds cool. So
yeah,
I hope to one day.
The other thing that my other thought that I forgot to say because I didn't write my thoughts down is that I was on the side of Swifties who was like, how dare Taylor invite Lana to be on this song and only have her do backing vocals and not give her a verse or anything, you know.
Right.
Just absolutely nothing. And so I was very much like, more Lana version. And then we got the more Lana version and I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I kind of was the same. I thought Lana should have had a verse. And then Lana got a verse. She didn't get her own verse. She sang the second one, right? In the more Lana version?
Yeah, but in her own style.
Right, right.
Which is why it kind of threw me, I guess, because I was already so used to the original version.
Yeah.
That when hers is a little different and changed it up and stuff, I was like, this is not how this is supposed to go.
Yeah, I think the original version is better. Not necessarily because of anything that's wrong with Lana as an artist. It just,
yeah.
I don't know. Feels weird. Grafted on. So, it feels like an afterthought, which it was.
Yeah.
Let's get into our ratings. We rate every song on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is extremely bad, 10 is extremely good, and 5 is extremely mid. Kimberly, how do you rate Snow on the Beach with Lana Del Rey?
I'm giving it a 6.
Ugh. Just north of mid.
Yep.
Along with Exile and...
Evermore.
Oh, God. You're going to have some explaining to do when we get into our overall ratings. Yeah.
Am I, though? I feel like I've explained why they are.
Overall rankings from 1 to 200 and whatever it is by the time we get there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be like, Exile's 100 and something. And that's going to be stupid as hell.
Excuse me, Rob Sheffield works for Rolling Stone and he's got some stupid as hell opinions too.
He sure does.
I think just with as broad of a discography as Taylor has, like, that's gonna happen sometimes.
You gonna have that. It's like my dad always used to say. He said, you gonna have that.
Exactly.
Well, for me, I had a lot of thoughts. This was a tough one to rate for me. Because I think it's a great song. But I didn't quite feel it was a 10. So, should it be a 9? Should it be an 8, maybe? And what I ultimately decided was to give it a 9. Because I don't think it's a perfect song, but I think it's a very, very good song. And I think it's a 9 for me. So, if you'd like to tell us how you rate the song, you can do it on Spotify. There's going to be a poll in the episode description of this episode. And you can also vote on our various social media platforms. Kimberly, what are we on? What is social media? How does any of this work? Help me?
We are on Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube.
Threads.
That's the one I always forget.
Yep. Patreon.
And we're on the Patreon. at CBLU_podcast.
That's right. If you've become a patron on Patreon, you can vote double. The rich can rig democracy just like in real life. So,
That is correct.
have fun with that if you want to.
Yep.
Madeline's always putting up fun stuff on there.
For a measly
And right now,
$5.
not many people are getting to see it. You could be one of them. You got to get in there.
Yep. And we have fun stuff already up there, but we got more fun stuff coming soon.
Yep. Gonna be a lot of fun, exciting things, like Taylor said, in the near future.
Yep.
So, Kimberly, what song are we gonna talk about next week?
Oh, boys. I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this all too well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am scared. I'm scared because this is the one, the chosen one, right? The magnum opus.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ready to do it, but we're gonna do it.
Yep.
And
it is time.
may the Lord be with us in our quest.
It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a doozy.
Yep. So join us for that. Join us for that. For now, though, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Join us for All Too Well. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, bitches.
Goodbye.
Pod Gremlin Maybe here. Thanks for listening to Cowboys Like Us. Follow us on all platforms at CBLU_podcast. You can find us on Instagram, X, the zombie Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. We're now posting our episodes on YouTube. Head over there and like and subscribe. All of these links can be found in our link tree in the episode description. Thanks for supporting the pod. Y'all come back now, you hear?